The lights are still on. That's the strange part. In the freezing darkness of the Atlantic, with chaos rising and the ship already dying, the lights refuse to go out. Men are shouting. Someone is praying. A violin plays somewhere in the distance. And in less than 10 minutes, all of it will disappear. But what actually happened in those final moments of the Titanic? Not the movie version, the real one. Because the truth is quieter, colder, and far more unsettling. It's April 15th, 1912. The Titanic, once called unsinkable, is already broken in two beneath the surface. The bow is gone. The stern is still floating, barely. And now, everything comes down to the last 10 minutes. But to understand those final moments, you need to see what people on board were feeling. Not history, not facts, fear. By this point, most lifeboats are already gone. Hundreds are left behind. The deck is tilted so steeply that standing feels like climbing a hill. Furniture slides. People lose their footing. Some jump, some refuse to, and some just wait. Why didn't more people jump earlier? Because even now, many still don't fully believe it's over. That's how powerful denial is. Down below, water is rushing in faster than ever. Corridors are flooding. Doors are bursting open under pressure. The ship isn't just sinking, it's being pulled under. Above, the stern rises higher, higher, until it's almost vertical. Imagine standing on a surface that's nearly straight up and down, with hundreds of others clinging beside you. Some are slipping, some are dragging others with them, and then something unexpected happens. The lights flicker. For a moment, everything pauses. Because that light is hope. As long as it's on, the ship still feels alive. But here's the question. Who kept the lights running? Deep inside the ship, far below where anyone could escape, a small group of engineers stayed at their posts. They knew exactly what was coming. They knew they wouldn't survive. And still, they kept the power on. Not for themselves, for everyone else. So people could see. So there wouldn't be total panic in the dark. Think about that. While others were fighting for lifeboats, these men chose to stay behind in rising water to keep the lights alive for strangers. And then the inevitable happens. The power fails. Total darkness. No warning. No slow fade. Just gone. And now imagine it. 1 second you can see faces, hands, the ocean below you. The next, nothing. Pitch black. And that's when the real panic begins. People scream, not just from fear of drowning, but from the sudden blindness, the loss of control, and then a sound. A deep, violent roar. The stern can't hold anymore. The entire back half of the Titanic begins to fall. Fast. Too fast. Some survivors later said it felt like being on top of a collapsing building. Others said it was silent until it hit the water, because when it finally goes under, it doesn't gently sink, it plunges, dragging everything with it. Hundreds of people are pulled down by the force. Some manage to break free, most don't. And then it's over. The largest ship in the world gone in less than 3 hours. But the story doesn't end there, because what comes next might be even worse. The ocean is now filled with people, hundreds of them, in water so cold it seals your breath instantly. Within minutes, your body starts shutting down. You can't swim properly. Your muscles stop responding. Your mind slows. And all around, voices calling for help, screaming names, begging. But here's the part that still haunts people to this day. The lifeboats were close enough to hear them, close enough to go back, but most didn't. Why? Because they were afraid. Afraid that if they returned, the desperate crowd in the water would overwhelm the boats and pull everyone down. So they stayed where they were, listening as the voices slowly faded, one by one, until there was nothing left, just silence. Think about that. Not the moment the ship sank, but the moment after. Floating in darkness, surrounded by people who were alive minutes ago, now gone. That's the part history doesn't show you. And here's the final detail most people miss. Out of over 1,500 people in the water, only a handful were pulled out alive. The rest didn't die from drowning, they froze. So when you hear the story of the Titanic, it's easy to focus on the iceberg, the ship, the disaster. But the truth is, the most terrifying part happened after it sank. In the dark, in the silence, in those final minutes, and the ones that followed. Because the Titanic didn't just disappear into the ocean, it left behind a moment where humanity was tested, and not everyone passed.